just like list, tuples are similar to list, but there is one difference, which is you cannot store like it's like you cannot tuple is basically immutable, so you cannot update its value like you are doing a list. So just like list, tuple is also a sequence of elements. In this, you can create to tuple to store elements, multiple elements. Like for example, here you can see example. And also one more thing, to creating tuple, you will use this normal parenthesis and just enter any elements. And if you try to check the type of the tuple, you will get class tuple. So basically, it's indicating that your tuple, that your variable t has type tuple. So we have tuples in Python, which is stored an order collection of immutable values. So basically, it will only store immutable values. So what if we cannot store immutable values basically. Here, these all are the immutable values. Okay, you type tuple 1, 2. So basically, these all are immutable values. Integers are also immutable. Integers are also immutable. Okay, now let's try to save any immutable value. Just like list is immutable. If you try to save this, okay, it also stores mutable value, not like only immutable values, but it is a mostly of order collection of immutable values. So next one is creating tuples. We have just created tuple. It's like you have to use these parentheses, normal parentheses, for creating tuple. Now after that, we have empty tuple. What is empty tuple? Empty tuple is basically just creating like this. This is empty tuple. It has no use. Like even if you try to check the type of this, it has class tuple. And if you want to check ID, you can check ID. It's memory location basically. And we have one interesting thing about that. How you can store single element in tuple. Suppose if you want to store single element in list, you're going to store it like this. And if you check type of the L, it is still list. Now if you want to store single element in tuple, so it's like basically we have also stored like this, just like in list. But try to check the type of this tuple we have created. It is not tuple. It is actually int. This is why, because we use just like 1 plus 2 into 3. So basically, it is treated as mathematical operation, not as a tuple sequence. So if there is only bracket and there is no comma, your Python is not going to treat it as any sequence or tuple. So for creating it as sequence or tuple for single element, you have to use it like this. Now you try to check the type of this, type of t, you will get tuple. So for that, creating single element tuple, you need to use comma also. Okay, so we have now single element, and yeah, we have also verified its type. Now next one is tuple sequence. So tuple can be used for any sequence, just like you have tuple, you have list any list is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just typecast this to tuple. So here you can see that we got this as a tuple, and even you can create tuple from any sequence, almost any sequence. Make sure to close bracket, and here you can see we got this also tuple. You can also create range, just like range 1, 2, and range whatever. Let's go for range 13. We got up to from 0 up to 13 before 13. So in this way, you can create a tuple sequence. And tuple is an inbuilt function which only accepts iterable. Like iterable, what does iterable means? Here range, just like range 13 is iterable. And here this list is also iterable. Our set is also iterable. Iterable means basically just a collection. You can even have tuple of strings. Here you can see we have created tuple of hello, and each and every character is now treated as element. So in this way, you can use tuple sequence. So here's a string to tuple. Just done, I have done that, and list to tuple. You can see that I've converted list to tuple. Is that tuple? And after that, tuple user input. So okay, so for tuple user input, what we are going to do? Let's take a variable t, and we are going to tuple, and then input dot split. Okay, now if you try to pass something 1 2 3 4 5 6 and try to print t, we get tuple of the sequence. And also if you want to print like something, let's say if you slash. Okay, now let's do it like one slash. Let's today's date is like, let's check what today's date is. So today is 31/7/2026. Okay, so we are going like 31/7/2026. Okay, so now if you check t, so value of t is all by default is separated with the, and also remove the slash. You can also use it like this: date, comma, month, comma, year equals to t. This is basically known as tuple unpacking. We will learn about this more later. So now if you try date, now we try month, now if you try year. So you can see that we got date, month, and year using this method. So this is in this way you can take use input of tuple from user. After that, we have one inbuilt function which is length. So what does this length do? It is like length can be applied on any sequence, any iterable sequence. It's like even you can apply on range. For example, length of range 13, it gives 13. Length of any list will give the length of that list. In the same way, length of any string, let's say hello, it gives 5. Now let's say length of the t, we have tuple, it gives 3. So length is an inbuilt function which just returns the value of how many elements are basically in your system, in your basic sequence. This is all about this first part. And okay, we have some programming questions. Let's solve few of them. Later we'll solve more. Okay, so create a tuple is containing the first 10 natural numbers. So for first 10 natural number are those which can be counted. So it is started from 1 and end up to 10. So we will take t equals to tuple 1 to 11. Sorry, tuple and then range 1 to 11. We need to pass the sequence, and range 1 to 11 is sequence of range 1 to 10. Now if you try to print the t, you can see that we have successfully created the 10 elements, 10 first natural number of tuple. Now second one is create a tuple of student names and display it. So you can do it like this: tuple is equals to, let's say, you can write your own name, others one name, so you can try these names and some names. Let's go with 5. Okay, now if you just print them, so this is also a tuple, and you can also try to check type of the t. It is also it is tuple. And one more thing here, you can notice that I use a double quote, but while printing I got single quote. So in Python, double quote and single quote are the same, while other oh, not like this. While in other language it is not same. Single quote is treated for characters, double is for whole string. Okay, so it can be asked in MCQs like, so if this is t equals to this double quoted and some single quoted, will it be, it always returns single quote, although it is same, but Python by default returns them in single quote. Now third question is create an empty tuple and print its type. So we have already done this. It's like t equals to 1 comma. If you print of the print t, it is tuple, and type of the t, that is still tuple. And you can also create it like this. So yeah, using this method, you can also create an empty tuple. Not empty, single element tuple. So for empty tuple, what you're going to do, just simply this and type of the t. Here's a tuple. Create a single element using tuple using float. Okay, we are set to create using float. So 1.4 and comma. So now type of the t is tuple, and we have created float tuple. Float a tuple with float element, single float element. Convert a list of marks into a tuple. So let's say we have list of marks, list of marks equals to, let's say 89, 75, let's say 84, let's say 90, and let's say 79. Let's say these are the marks. And if I want to tuple, so you can simply do tuple list of marks. Now if I print the type of the t and t, so you can see that we have converted it to tuple. Rest of the question will be solved in other lectures. Now let's go to the next part. Okay, so we have more on tuple functions and like indexing and so on. So let's go with tuple indexing. Tuple indexing is also similar to string and list. Just like we have this tuple, if you go with t0, t1, t2, t3, t4, t5. Okay, t5 gives error because so length of t must be 5. Okay, this is how you can index a tuple and immutable nature of the tuple. Okay, this is what I already told in starting, that immutable nature of tuple. So if it just like we have list, okay, we have the list, we have the list of marks, and we try to access at the 0 element. So it is this, and if we print this, it is 89. Let's say I want to update this 89 from 89 to 99. Okay, so our list of marks is going to be updated. So you can see list of marks is updated. Okay, but same thing if you try to do with tuple. Let's say t of 0, it is 89, and let's say now let's try to update this. So you can see that it returned the type error. Tuple object does not support item assignment. Just like in a string, we have when it this same error is given by the string when you try to do this. So all immutable sequence or elements, whatever, will return item assignment error because they are not going to update their values using these methods or even other method. So after this, you can see it is returning type error for that. This immutable nature of tuple, which is necessary for tuple operation. Let's say if I want to, now I can also say I have protected a, if I want to protect this tuple, for example, this value, I mean, let's say any student come and it can change its marks. So in this method, tuple method, he is not able to change his marks. If it tried, it will get error just. And let's say if we try to change something, so it's cannot get. But using list, he can change the value. So that's a simple analogy. We are going with the traversing with tuple. So just like in list string, we are also going to iterate this tuple for elements in range, length of the tuple. We are currently in traversing using index. Print, okay, I done mistake. Print t of ele. If you run this, I get these marks, all of the marks I got this. Now after this, let's try to iterate these elements using another method. For element in t, print t. Oh, not print t, print ele. So you can see that using this method, I also printed all of the elements of the marks, elements of the tuple. So in this way, you can traverse your tuple. Now again, negative indexing. So again, negative indexing is same as that. If you try to access first, let's say what is t, and then t of minus 1 is 79, t of minus 2 is 90. So last nth element is t of minus of nth. So it's, I said last fourth number. So you can say last 1, 2, 3, 4. Last fourth number is 75 and we got 75. So this is negative indexes. Next one is reverse traversing. So first let's try to reverse this order. If you try to reverse this, here you can see that we have also reversed this order. So we got new tuple. And for reverse traversing, here you can see that it is written for I in range length of t. For reverse traversing, what we have to do, we have to start from minus 1 and go up to negative of length of the tuple. And not after till the negative of length of tuple. We also need to skip one step. So we'll also minus 1 in this, and after that step between minus 1. So for index in range, we'll start from minus 1 and then negative of length of the t, negative of length of t, and then minus 1, and then again minus 1. And then print index, not index. Okay, let's print also index and t of index. So you can see at position minus 1, we have 79, position minus 2, we have 90, position minus 3, we have 84, and so on. So in this way, you can traverse in reverse order. Okay. Now tuple concatenation. So if you want to concatenate two tuples, like we have two tuples, this like this first tuple and this is second tuple. Here in this method, you can concatenate these two tuples. Okay. Now after this, so one more thing you should notice that we have t like this, and let's say t plus t. It return this, but you need to mention that t is not going to update. T will be same. So t plus t will return a different copy by solving whole expression. So here this whole expression is solved and return a new copy. Suppose I can also do it like this. New underscore t is equals to t plus t. Now if you try new underscore t, it becomes this, and t is still original value. So t is not going to be updated. So that's how tuple works. And after that, we have tuple repetition. So what to do in tuple repetition? It's like if I write t into 3, it becomes 3. And again, just like I said, t is not going to update it. If I do new t into 3, t is original one, and new underscore t is got updated with this. If you do t to 5, so it becomes 5 times of that tuple. So in this way, you can use the repetition and concatenation in tuple using plus and asterisk operators. Next one is tuple slicing. So what is slicing? Slicing is just cutting the part of the sequence. So we have t like this, and if you want to slice from index 1, index 2, and index 3, so we'll go like t 1, 2, 3, and up to 4, because 4 will be upper limit and it will not going to be included. So what it should be 1 to 4, it's like 1, 2, 3. So it will going to return t of 1, t of 2, t of 3. Okay, so now let's check. Oh, yeah, okay. it is still return correct one, t of 1, t of 2, t of 3. But we want this first element, which is at index 0. So we should start from 0, 1, 2, and we don't want third one, third index, which is at fourth place. So we do like 3. So you can see at 89, 75, 84, 89, 75, 84. We got this starting third element. Or even you can do it like this by default version. And for ending version, you can also do it like this. So from 3 to end. So third element is 90 and up to the end. So it is 79 only. So therefore two elements are only coming up with double slicing. And again, if you want to access even elements of tuple slice, you can do it like this. And for odd elements, you have to do it like this. So you can see that 89, 75, 84, 90, 79. 89, 75, 89, 84, 90, 79. In this way, you can slice your tuple. Yeah, that's sort of what I told you now. The tuple slicing with the help of step. So now we have some of the questions. Let's solve them. Okay, so print the first and last element of the tuple. So we have tuple. So for the first element, it is t0, and the last element you can directly do t of -1, or another way is length of the t and then -1. Okay, so and after that we have access an element using user entered index. Okay, user entered index. Just like we have tuple this, and let's take index input from user, index equals to int input, enter index. Okay, now entering index third. Take it. Now we'll get index as 3. Now if you try to access the t of index, we got 90. So third index we have 90, which is at fourth place of this tuple. Now after this, we have show that tuples are immutable. We can show this easily. Showing that means you cannot modify its value. You can see that it return error when we try to modify its value. So therefore, this is immutable. We have shown this that tuple is immutable. Now after this, we have a traverse a tuple using for loop. So we have already done this one. Traverse traverse using while loop. Okay, this one is new. So let's take first length of the tuple. Length of t is 5, and we'll first take value I equals to 0. Okay, now while I is less than length of t, which is basically tuple, print t of I, and then I plus plus. No, I not I plus plus. I plus equals to 1. I plus plus in C. So you can see that using while loop, you can also traverse this, and it is a little bit easier also. And let's say if you want to traverse it in reverse order, so you can do it like this: I is equals to length of the t minus 1. Okay, I equals to, let's say, with going with -1. Now we need to in reverse order. So what we are going to length of the t -1. Now while I is greater than or equals to 0, print t of I. Let's also print I with this. Okay, and I minus equals to 1. Don't forget to update the updating condition in while, updating expression in while. So you can see that it started from fourth. So at fourth index we have 79. At third we have 90. At second index we have 84. At first index we have 75. And at first and zero index we have 89. So in this way you can reverse traverse or then forward traverse using while loop. After this we have a print a tuple in reverse order. So it is a very simpler one. Just print t colon -1. So if you want to save this, you can save it like this: new underscore t is equals to t colon -1. This will make your tuple This will returns the tuple, not mix. This will returns the reverse copy of your tuple and just print new underscore t. So you can see that we have reversed that tuple. Now after that, we have accessed the last three elements using negative indexing. It is simpler one, t of minus 1, t of minus 2, t of minus 3. Concatenate two tuples of marks. So these are the things you can do it on yourself. Just practice them and that's it. And we have one more part for tuple. Okay, so in this part, this is very basic one. So first one is tuple unpacking. For example, we have tuple. We have five values in tuple, so we can do it like a comma b comma c comma d comma e. These are five values, and just set them to t. So now one magic will happen. Just like a will going assigned to first element, b for second, c for third, d for fourth, e for fifth one. So in this way, you can access it. After this, and it can be also used in many ways, just like we have done for the date, month, and year. Or first, if you go to starting. So yeah, here you can see that we have taken tuple input as and use the user input, and user has entered using help of the slash. And after that, t is got created with tuple. It has 31 as date, 7 as a month, 226 as a year. And after this, we have date, comma, month, comma, year. Basically, we are tuple unpacking in this case, and date got 31, month got 7, and year got 226. And so in this way, you can unpack your tuple. And for more simpler, you can do it like this: a comma b comma c is equals to 1 comma, just do it first element, second element, third element. So you can say a is first element, b is second element, c is third element. So in this way, you can unpack a tuple. Now we have max of the tuple. Let's say we have t like this. Now if I say find the maximum value from this, so you have to do it like inbuilt function. We have inbuilt function which is max, and use it like this. You got maximum is 90. So for any sequence, you can apply this for list. Sorry. Even for you can apply this for list. Let's say and large number and all. So you can see that it get maximum of that number. So max is the inbuilt function which is used to get maximum. Now after this, minimum. So how you can use minimum? So how to use you can go use minimum? Minimum is like min. So you can see we got minimum of this for list, and same for if you try for tuple. In this sequence, let's find out minimum. 75, I think 75 is the minimum one. So if you try minimum of the t, we got 75. So in this per, so it will return the smallest element of the tuple using this. Next one is the index. Just like in list, we have list.index. We have also tuple.index. So if you want to get the index of something, you can get like this: t.index of the 90. So you can use it like this. At third index, we have 90 marks. So index it will also reduce if the value is not found. Let's try it. Let's go for 900. So you can see that it also reduces error. So t.index will return a teaser value, and if value is not found, it is going to return you error, throw you error, value error basically. And now you can also count the occurrence of frequency. For example, let's go with new one. That's enough for marks. Okay, let's go with new one. Let's 1 comma 1 comma 1 many times. We are going to write many times, and make sure there is no repeated comma, as it will also throw error. Now t dot count 6. So there are three six, and if I type t dot count five, there are six five. There are five times six. Now if I try one, so you can see that one, two, three, four in starting all the elements, and rest does not have one. So in this way, you can get that we have four one. So count is used to basically counting occurrence of a value in any sequence, and you can also use it in tuple, but it and also returns an integer frequency. And let's try if that the thing is not present. Let's like zero. We have not zero entered. We have not entered zero in our sequence tuple sequence. Okay, so if it is not found, it also going to return zero. So if there is not element, suppose this 9 is not in this in the sequence, then it returns zero for that. Now after this, okay, after this we have some of the questions. Unpacking tuple, we have already done that. Swapping two variable using tuple unpacking. Okay, so that's swapping two value. What does swapping two value with tuple unpacking means? Here you can see let's say a comma b. Okay, let's say a is equals to 1, b equals to 4. Okay, now a comma b will become tuple. Now let's save them to tuple. Tuple is equals to a comma b. Now t will become tuple. Now after that, what you do, we'll print type in reverse order and assign it to t. So basically, we are packing these in tuple, packing these variable in the form of tuple, and after that we reverse that order of unpacking. So you can see now b will become 1, a will become 4. Earlier we have set a equals to 1, but b equals to 4. So in this way, you can swap two values using tuple. After that, we have okay, we have already done this. Find the maximum and minimum value of the marks. Suppose the maximum I will try for t and minimum of the t is 1. So in this way, you can try maximum and minimum. Okay, let's create one program for this. Let's try to take input from the tuple. Let's take input for marks. Okay, so t is equals to tuple input dot input. We will write argument as enter your marks. After that, dot split. Okay, now what we need to print, find the minimum value in the tuple entered by the user. Now print minimum. Now if you run this program, let's say in one subject got 98, another one 87, other one 89, other one 90, other one 67, 54. So you can see that we got minimum one as an output. Okay, now next one is display both max and minimum values. So we can do it like this, displaying both minimum and maximum values. 34, 64, 75, 23, 76, 34. So you can see that 23 is minimum and 76 is maximum of this sequence. Now after this, find the index of given number. We can also do this. I have already demonstrated the index of given number. Find the first occurrence of duplicate value. Find the first occurrence of a duplicate value. Okay. So what does this mean? So we'll have to first input from the user in the form of tuple, which we have already done that. Enter your numbers, let's say now. Okay. Now after this, what we have? Okay, we will check for every let we after this we are going to count everyone, and we are also going to use list. Okay, now for element in tuple, if t dot count of this element is equals to 2, l dot append el, and we will also make sure that ele is not in list so that it will not comes up with two times, and ele not in l. And after this we are going to print ele in l, print ele. So we are going to print that duplicate values are. So let's enter numbers. Some of them should be double. So here you can see that 1, 4, 5, 3, 7. These have double time of this, while 8 is not there because it comes up 3 times. So in this way you can create this program. Frequency counter, you can create a frequency counter the same. Find the difference between maximum and minimum values. This is just like earlier one. Just instead of printing maximum and minimum, you just need to print maximum one and minimum difference of them. Just like we have. Okay, so instead of this, you are supposed to print, you are supposed to go for minus minimum of the t. Now if you run this, okay, it said type unsupported. Okay, so it is returning as a type. So we can also typecast this again for this reason. Let's say minimum number is equals to int of the, we need to typecast this minimum, and max underscore n is equals to int of the max of the t. Print min underscore n of the t, not min. This is now value just max underscore n minus min underscore n. Okay, the bracket is missing. Now let's run this. In this way, you can run that. Now 54 is the basically difference of maximum and minimum one. This way you can create this. And let's try something else. Read 4 numbers in tuple and unpack them. Okay, let's try this one too. Let the user will enter 4 tuples, 4 elements, and we'll try to unpack them. Okay, and after this we are going to print a, comma b, comma c, comma d. And let's also use separate. Or anything else if we can just separate with hashtag, nothing else. Now let's enter marks, whatever you can want to enter. Okay, we need only 4 elements. So you can see that 34, 56, 12 and 76. they all are printed and it's separated using hashtag. So in this way, you can create these tuples, and that's all for it. And our next topic will be dictionary. So dictionary is a key value pair, which will be covered in next section.